We're back with the Grindking Locker 2. So if you saw my previous video, I talked about how the Grindking Locker 2 had 3 main changes to the hanger, the base plate, and the bushings. So now we're just going to test them to see how they ride. Me personally, I like the medium bushings because they ride the best and turn really well, but you also have the addition of soft and hard bushings. So we'll test this out to see, but for now, let's just see how they ride with the medium stock bushing. So it definitely turns a lot differently than the Locker 1. I feel like because of the top bushing being a lot more lower and the extra top bushing being a little bit more circular, it definitely gives it a different more lean when you carve into your turns. I'm definitely going to ride around a little bit more just to see how it feels, but overall I do like it. I'm surprised I haven't got wheel bite with it, but I'm sure as I start to skate I will start to get wheel bite, but so far the medium bushings feel great. Don't mind my finger, I hurt myself a week ago. Honestly, the way that these Grindking 2s turn, it's completely different than the first ones. Like, they turn so much. There's so much lean when you actually start to push pressure on the heels and the toes. I don't think changing the bushing is going to change too much. I feel like with the harder ones, it's definitely going to give it more of a controlled turn, but we'll just see how it goes once you switch out the bushings. We're going to start off with the soft ones first, and then go to the hard bushings. So this is what the soft bushings look like. Pretty good complementary color. Let's see how it skates. Moving on to the soft bushings, as you saw, there's a lot of lean when it comes to these trucks. I'm really surprised at how much the geometry has changed when it comes to the actual turn of these. I find that when you start to lean, it really gives you a lot of space, and surprisingly, I didn't get wheel bite, and I was really trying to push down on my heels and my toes, but nothing. So let's just check out the hard bushings and see how it is. So now we have the hard bushings on. I think it's gonna give a consistent turn when it comes to both sides of these trucks. I haven't loosened or tightened them too much, but we'll just see how it feels. So here's the verdict on the hard bushings. They feel as if they're like the Grindking Locker 2 medium bushing. I feel like they gave a little more stability when it comes to the actual turn. Now I tried to loosen it by 2 turns just to see how much it changed. Honestly, it stayed stable. I didn't turn at all. And I think that's really interesting because if you want more of a stable turn, but you still want to have an overall good truck, I think this is definitely giving you a good setup for you. For me, I personally did like the medium style bushing. It gives me a lot of turn, but I think because of the way they changed the geometry, I think that if you do a combination of maybe a hard bottom bushing and a top medium bushing or a soft bushing, it could give you that turn and lean that you need for crooked grinds or just carving as you're skating down the streets. But I think the hard bushings definitely gave me a lot more response when it came to actual stability of the turn. But so far for me, I do like the medium bushings better. I think it's just because I'm used to that from the Locker 1, but I think I will try this setup at some point. Maybe I'll do it where the bottom bushing is the stable one and the top bushing is more of a soft or a medium, but that's my take on all the bushings. So now that we've tested all the bushings, I would definitely want to try out my theory about my original Grindking Locker ones. My original theory is that if the hanger is a lot more flat and stable, it can be better for crooked grinds. Now, skating at this park, I'm definitely not able to skate my full capacity, so I did some to see how it felt, and I feel like my theory is actually correct. I think if we have the next hanger system where basically it's built in where it has a little bit of a groove padding on the edges, but it flattens out towards the middle, I think that would work better for people overall. It wouldn't be such a turn off when it comes to the hump area, but overall, I think it can work. Grindking Locker 2s has some really cool upgrades. I'm really interested in the bushing system. I feel like the soft bushings really do give you a lot of lean when it comes to carving and turning. I think overall I may just stick with the medium ones because I'm really used to them and I like the way that they feel. However, I'm really excited to see how the other combinations of the Grindking Lockers can work. For example, with my Ventures as well as the Grindking Disruptors, I'm really interested to see how well they grind when it comes to having no groove pattern versus a regular hanger. I think if the Locker 3 comes out, having that regular hanger definitely would be a good upgrade, but we'll see what Donald comes up with. For now, I'm out of commission. I actually cut my hand open fairly recently, like Friday, so I'm not gonna be skating for a while. Even doing crooked grinds for this video was a heck of a risk. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. I have a lot of stuff going on, so stay tuned for more, and I'll see you in the future.